the last time on Summoner's Rift for G2 versus Fnatic.
This is game 5 here, and I recall that the first part of the draft is similar to game 4, but explain to me the second rotation here and your goal in the early game against Fnatic this game.
I mean, as before, right? We try to snowball through mid into bot, get some Dex advantages. This time around, Evolution, who's a bit more self-sufficient in lane than his other picks, so maybe he doesn't hug tower this game. So it'll be a bit harder, but still, of course, aiming to have a strong early game presence, and then Ornn can be weak side, top side. We play for objectives, as I said, and that's the goal.
All right, well, we'll see how things go for you. And now, back to you, casters, for game 5.
So, based on what Grab said, they want to play towards bot side by getting Prio through mid. So, Ender, talk to me about jungle matchup here. If you're Jankos, do you look for a level 2 player into a Lucian, or do you... What's your early path?
I mean, right now, Jankos looks like you might want to make a level 1 play. I think level 2 play into Lucian can work if you go straight after a red buff, because that means he won't have his E just yet, so the dash will not be there. But I think by starting on the blue buff, he's likely just going to try to clear out the bot side jungle. Again, like Grabs was saying, they want to play around the bot area of the map, play for the early Drakes. So by splitting the map right there at level 1, it's going to create a lot of pressure on Rekkles and Hylissang right off the bat.
You can see a hook does land in the 2 versus 2. Mickey, though, feeling
can go mid, actually. Like, Nemesis
yep.
is so far pushed up in this lane.
Going to be pushing forward. Flash is available to Nemesis. Selfmade is nearby. Level 2 on both junglers. And a couple of autos coming down as Nemesis will get that passive off.
Well,
now there's the siege. Flash for Flash. Jankos trades his for Nemesis's, and that's going to be pretty happy for G2 Esports.
There's not a lot of reaction time on that from Nemesis. That was very clutch for him to get away, but this is where the strength of Set lies. When Nemesis will not have a flash for the next 5 minutes, Jankos gets Hex Flash, which works off of Nimbus Cloak. You get all that movement speed, so Fnatic need excellent vision control around mid lane, because now it's so easy for Caps to set up the gank with a chain, followed up by Jankos popping out of the fog of war, and that will be instant death for Nemesis.
And if you aren't watching and hearing some audio glitches, we are aware and we are working on it. As now you can see Perkz and Mickey stepping forward just ever so slightly. While in the meantime, Bwipo is pushing that top lane all the way towards the Tower of Wonder. No surprise in terms of the matchup right now.
He's already forced the TP out from Wonder. A very good trade in the early laning phase meant that Wonder was forced to go back to base. Nemesis, though, being forced to play a little bit more defensively after losing his flash. This is guaranteeing Caps the early prio, and again, comes back to what we were talking about, and the fact that Nemesis has to play defensively means that Caps can look for opportunities elsewhere, as Selfmade is moving towards the top spot.
Yeah, I think right now Nemesis has a lot of potions, as Wonder does take a nice trade up towards the top side. I was checking that one out, because G2 are really committing around this middle lane, trying to funnel the Scuttle Crabs into Jankos and give him that pressure.
Double Skull again?
He has the top side Scuttle and should be able to secure the bot one. Rekkles and Hylissang do have control over that bot side wave, and Jankos is committing up towards the top, just sitting around here so that I think Ornn can push the wave.
Good damage there onto Mickey. Death Sentence into Flay. Big minion wave as well, pushing towards Perkz and Mickey under the tower, down 7 CS for now. Nemesis on the Lucian, doubling up here with Selfmade and making the way to the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit difficult to pull off of a dive here. There's an exhaust and a heal they have to worry about, so I think Fnatic make the right call to back away there, and just as soon as they go into the fog of war, the threat of the dive will loom on the horizon for G2's bot side of the map. And I think this threat will return in a couple of minutes, because, you know, we mentioned briefly in the top lane, Bwipo traded really aggro into Wonder to get him to back to base and forced to use that teleport early on. So there will be a mismatch for a little bit when Bwipo ticks over to level 6, where he has the global and Wonder won't be able to reply.
All right, Hex Flash comes down. Nemesis can get pulled back in just a moment. The chains need to connect, and it looks like they do. Nemesis will go down. First blood to Jankos. Wave the white flag in Fnatic's face.
Extremely well played there by Jankos, and he's actually just been playing up towards the top side of the map, and I feel like Nemesis, he had to push that wave out. He was forced in a difficult situation. Selfmade wasn't there to help support, and now Selfmade is even having more of his camp stolen away, and a lot of that comes off the back of those early plays from Jankos. We talked about it, and so far it's paying off for G2.
I mean, this is exactly what G2 needed to do, and Nemesis already in trouble, still won't have a flash, and Jankos still holding on to the Hex, so he isn't going to be able to come and make that happen. It's a situation where Hylissang does take a lot of damage down here, but I feel like when Nemesis loses his flash so early in the lane, the bottom lane from Fnatic almost need to force an early reset so that Hylissang can get some pressure around mid, because the 2v2 for G2 is obviously going to be one around mid lane, but I feel like the Thresh could be the thing to swing it back to Fnatic so they could get some control over the area.
We'll see if Hylissang can get unlocked. Jankos once again appearing on the map, threatening pressure onto Reckless and Hilly. Hex Splash is available. He's going to find himself Reckless. The Lantern is available after the pullback. And that means Hylissang and Reckless will be able to turn this around, put some damage down onto Jankos. The Haymaker's done a lot. Here comes Selfmade and Nemesis, level 4 and 5 respectively. Hold our thoughts on whether or not this dive is going to go forward. Flash is available for Selfmade. He's not going to go under the tower just yet.
I think he just hit level 6, but is Sultan on cooldown?
It does look like it. I didn't quite see where that was used. We'll have to check with the observers. And while we're figuring that out, I quickly have to ask all the fans at home.
He has ultimate. He has ultimate.
He does have it.
Who is going to win Game 5? Spam in chat, G2 or Fnatic. I know it's tense. It's 1 kill and 400 gold in favor of G2. And looks like an observer bug, right, for the GPR.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to mention that was because we saw 4 members of Fnatic looking towards bot side. The play for a dive was very real, especially with Bwipo having access to his ulti, but Fnatic choose not to pull the trigger. Jankos will now finally get around to clearing his red buff. Definitely a little bit overdue, but he's sitting with a level advantage over Selfmade right now, and Fnatic is a slight gold lead.
I will say, though, that because of the ultimate threat from Bwipo, as well as Nemesis and Selfmade constantly, twice now, trying to move into that bottom lane and put down some pressure, Jankos has not been able to play for the early Drake, like Rabs was talking about, so we're in a very real situation where around the 8-minute mark, we're resetting and not actually pathing into the top lane, we're going to be pathing back towards bot side. Now, Jankos is here in the river first, and I think with Mickey to follow him first there as well, they'll have the vision to potentially be able to set that up, but I think they might want to wait until Wonder's TP does return.
And if Jankos continues to find impact this game, you then start to question Fnatic's answer to it. They chose to let that one go through. Mickey will be able to roam, and this was Fnatic's bottom lane. They managed to get their recall pickaxe and tier secured, and Hilly and Reckless will just do a brief drive-by in that middle lane. Fnatic are falling a little further behind as far as the gold is concerned, and CS advantages, however minor, being picked up in the top and the middle lane for now.
Looks like right now the fans are behind G2, but that's closer than I thought. Based on G2's throw and then a commanding Game 4 performance, I was expecting chat to be a lot more G2 sided, but clearly there are still a lot of Fnatic faithful fans out there, and I think they do have a shot with the draft that they have gotten themselves. The gold, of course, still very even. Bwipo yet to use his ultimate anywhere for a play, but we see that the bot lane of G2 already on the road.
And I mean, this is the most competitive Fnatic have been in 12 months against G2. So, rightful for the Fnatic fans to come out in support. But look at G2's moves now. You've got Jankos soloing out the Rift Herald. You've got the duo lane from G2 pushing forward, level 6 secured for Perks. And they'll just usher that minion wave in. And this will allow the recall from Caps. No TP available to him. And it doesn't look like they'll lose too much as that wave is just about to hit the tower.
Yeah, so G2 have been controlling vision around mid lane very, very well, cascading that pressure into the early Rift Herald for Jankos as well. I will say, though, that it has once again resulted in Perks falling behind in this bottom lane. Yeah, he'll pick up some farm underneath that bot lane tower, but this is going to be the Reckless again that probably will pick up some plates when they eventually swap and get out to a lead, but we have not seen Reckless's advantages actually transitioned into anything meaningful for the rest of Fnatic.
That's very true. Last game we saw him sitting at a 0-0-0 scoreline once again, and we do see a bit of action in the bot lane.
So much damage onto Mickey. He stays alive a few seconds longer. The exhaust and the kill keeps him up, and the barrel won't be able to pick up the kill. Hylissang's over the wall. Selfmade's got flash available to him. That's the body slam flash combination. And here come the rest of G2. The root is going to be big. The death sentence into the play. Hylissang trying to turn this one around. Reckless throws down the Dawning Shadow, and that does so much damage onto G2. Fnatic get the kill and get away.
It's a huge save right there to keep Selfmade alive. It looks like he was almost surely going to go die once Braum applied the passive to him. But I think Reckless showed up, the hook as well from Hylissang, and they get
Bad
out.
for Wonder.
Searing charge didn't find its target. He must survive as observers will throw up the replay.
Let's have a look. So the hook does land on the Braum. He takes a huge chunk of damage. The stun does come down, and a clutch exhaust actually mitigates a lot of it. The ultimate not quite enough, as Ender highlighted before, and then we see Caps and Jankos join. And as Ender was saying, I thought at this point, Selfmade was going to lose his life, but the Gangplank ultimate comes in clutch, along with this hook that lands onto Caps, rooting him in place, means that the damage isn't there onto Selfmade, and Perk realizes, okay, I don't have any mana left to commit to this, so beautifully well played from the bot lane of Fnatic there to stop Caps from getting that execute.
And now Fnatic may be able to turn this into the Dragon. Selfmade just going to be clearing this one out for now, because Wonder just used his teleport to get back into the top lane. This is the second time now he's used that ability to make it up to the top side, whereas Bwipo has his for the time being, but did use his ultimate earlier.
Let's take a look. A little bit of pressure from Caps here, just using the distortion over the wall. If you look at the river, 1, 2, 3, 4 members apiece inside. Mickey's going to tag Reckless though.
Bwipo does have teleport, whereas Wonder does not.
Let's find out what happens. Fnatic able to secure the first dragon of the game. That is the Cloud. Infernal is next, which means we're going to get a Mountain or an Ocean Soul. The Lantern will be used to bring in some threat, but no further follow-up. G2, despite their posturing, unable to contest Dragon.
This is exactly what Fnatic want, though. They've slowed down the G2 Dragon game that you're supposed to be able to get with this power mid-jungle 2 versus 2. Selfmade's been able to get to level 7, all the way past the 6 point, and this bot lane's doing just fine, too. So Fnatic very much in a solid position. Even though this game does remain close, I think getting that first Drake is a big swing.
Yep, I agree with you, Ender, and I think that right now Fnatic is feeling comfortable. Gangplank ultimate not up just yet, but you can see that Bwipo playing very defensively because he knows that Set's in the top side of the map. LeBlanc also looking for a roam up top, and Fnatic looking to make the cross map. Selfmade, he will spot out.
Oh, he doesn't see him, the vision.
He doesn't.
The vision does not see the recall from Mickey. Bwipo respecting the potential dive, he backs away, so he does not concede another death. Or any
Giving this
death.
gold to Wonder?
That
Okay,
is...
oh, it looks like Caps cashed in on some. I don't know if it was just the global turret or not, but...
Okay, so significantly slower early game than the two previous. Jankos, despite his impact in mid onto Nemesis, has been unable to accelerate that further. And Fnatic, while they are down a tower right now, they are much more competitive and trading blow for blow. Thus far, 12 minutes into the game, down 700. They got a bunch of plates in that bottom lane. And the Rift Herald took the top tower.
Yeah, I mean, now would be a great chance, or a great time for us to check out the gold between these two teams and the players, if we could get that up on our screens, because the constant for Fnatic has been Reckless gets so much gold down in the bottom lane, but the solo lanes of G2 are the ones that continually claw out advantages, and we're seeing that again with Wonder and Caps, especially on this LeBlanc. With an edge, he will be able to convert that into a lot more.
One of the trends that we've also been seeing is, oh, hang on, they know he's there.
Reckless is going to be able to flash away.
Sidestep,
Summon a spell secured for only regular spells.
Bit of a BM with the B there. I respect it, Reckless, as he's able to sidestep Caps' aggression. But again, the thing that I want to highlight is that typically in this series we've seen Selfmade on a carry, and that's where the other gold advantages have been coming from, because he power farms, he plays for himself, he gets early kills, and now he's on the Gragas. Gragas can make these game-changing ultimate plays, but the onus to carry is not on Selfmade right now. It's on the shoulders of Nemesis as Fnatic look to play in the bot side once again.
Mickey's going to be able to flash away from the death sentence. That saves his life, by the way. The last embrace didn't slow down or root perks, so he escapes as well. And to go back to what you were saying, Vedius, it's kind of indicative of how these teams play stylistically. You know, G2, when they made it to the World Final last year, when they won MSI, it was off the back of exceptionally strong solo laners, and now Caps is going to be forcing Nemesis away. That is how G2 made a name for themselves last year.
I wonder if Nemesis flashed there because he didn't realize Caps, that was the clone W right there going forward, because he used the W first to come in. He didn't quite have the burst damage to finish him off, but they're just running this all the way into the top lane.
Now Bwipo's in trouble. Flash is available to him. Cannon Barrage as well. There's no support from anyone else. The Powder Keg will buy some time. While that's going on, Fnatic are going to take a tower in the bottom lane, and Bwipo is just taking them on a run. Cue the, is it Benny Hill music?
That's the one.
And he's running for his life.
He might just try to get an
power kick will come out.
execute here, but he's not going to get it, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. Barrel will get
getting
interrupted.
in the way.
Minion blocking Caps. He continues to take them on a run. While that's going on, Fnatic are pushing down the bottom lane. It's a dead even game thus far. And that will be the
eventually.
Kill
Surely
here
it'll
for
happen.
Caps.
Come on.
Wait a minute, will it?
A lot
Yes,
of
it will.
damage.
They'll
Yep,
give it to
Perks and
Perks.
Mickey arrive as well, and that's maybe even more problematic. Kill secured there by Caps after wasting a lot of time. So much time that Reckless and Hilly get into the inner turrets.
Exactly that. They're able to push in through bot. They'll be able to move into the bot side jungle, rotate up into mid, and potentially threaten this tower. But Jankos securing this Rift Herald now means that G2, after a quick reset, can look to take the mid tower themselves.
Yeah, so, okay, we're going to get the cinematic angle on this one.
All right,
Slaughters the
observers.
innocent minions. Okay, have your fun.
We can see Caps here.
Okay, yeah, to bring us back into Game 5 of G2 versus Fnatic. Thank you for that wild ride across the Rift. It is still a 500 gold advantage to G2 Esports. The winner goes to finals next Sunday. The loser plays Rogue or Mad next Saturday. And I said this at the beginning of the game, I said this 30 minutes ago, the world is watching. What we're trying to see here is how our representatives that will place first, second, or third in seeding for the World Championships are going to shape up. And I'm happy to see Fnatic bouncing back after two very difficult games. They've got an element of control. They've managed to handle the early death by Nemesis. And they are just marginally behind G2 right now.
I mean, let's kind of recap the series, right? Because in game 1, Fnatic, at this point in the game, was pretty much in sole control, and it was G2 constantly playing on the back foot. Don't have time, arrow lands.
Reckless instantly cleanses away. Hylissang does have flash available to him. He's holding on to it for now. Gets tagged by Winter's Bite despite the death sentence. Manages to double flag into the box. Cannon Barrage comes down. Selfmade gets the body slam. Barrel. Mickey's in trouble. Stays alive. Burnt down. That's the kill secured by Hilly. Now Jankos is trying to run amok inside the jungle of Fnatic. Reckless stays alive to find a lantern and escape. Selfmade stays up just long enough for Nemesis to get in. The culling only takes out the clone before Caps takes him down. It's a 1-for-1 inside the jungle, and everything.
And it's not over yet. They're going to find Bwipo with the slows.
They absolutely are. Bwipo is now in trouble from the Rangers' focus. He's forced to flash away. Wonder's going to look for the Searing charge if he can. Bellows' breath available to him. Bwipo gets pulled backwards, Haymaker to the face, and he's taken down. But it is at the cost of Caps. Another 1-for-1.
What happened to Caps? We're going to have to get a replay of that because this initially looked like it was just kill after kill after kill going in favor of G2, but Fnatic were able to get one back. Let's have a look here. The arrow does initiate onto Reckless, and this is where Fnatic is on the retreat.
Yeah, but look, like, it is a very split up fight, so the arrow does come through, but Ashe is not ready to fight. It is just Caps and Mickey who have a lot of damage, but with the Senna's shield and healing coming through, Caps cannot 100-0 Hylissang. This is where Selfmade comes in and of course trades, and this Jankos play, you can't follow up off it, because again, it's Caps. He doesn't really have the AoE damage without that jump forward coming through.
Selfmade Jankos must have assumed that Caps had that kill, which is why he immediately turned on to Selfmade there, and of course, once Selfmade does die,
so close.
Not able to get. Look at how low these bot laners are, and must be where Caps commits to the kill, uses his W. Just comes off cooldown. He knows where Hylissang is.
I don't think he knows it. Hylissang got the heal though.
Oh, no! You beauty!
Good hook there. Happy B for Reckless, that's for sure. But it is, at the end of the day, 4 kills to 3 in favor of G2. Gold's still very even.
Nearly 20 minutes into the game, 1 dragon apiece. Gold is irrelevant at this point. 4 kills to 3. The thing that is important to call out is G2 2 tower advantage over Fnatic. While that is standing gold, it will unlock some more possibilities for G2 to play around. And this is the tension that we wanted in a Game 5 between these two organizations. What is the next move here for G2 as they start to push forward? There is a wave from Bwipo being ushered into the top lane, and it looks like Nemesis is going to catch in the bottom lane.
Keep in mind, like, fights will break out so quickly in this game. Both teams have really solid long-range engage options. With G2, you have the Ornn and the Ashe. Fnatic, they of course have the Cannon Barrage, and Selfmade with the Predator can run you down. So this game will come down to who can gain control over mid, it feels like, and transition that into pressure inside lanes, or catch people overextended as these outer turrets turrets start to fall down. And that's why I feel like G2 are in an advantage state, because all the outer turrets have fallen, is because it opens up so much more of the map for them to find picks and find these collapses onto Fnatic.
Whippo, no flash available to him, but Fnatic is nearby. Hylissang, can he find the lantern? Not because of the showstopper. There's the Winter's Bite tag down, and somehow Whippo stays alive just a few seconds longer. He will finally get taken out. Death Sentence connects onto Mickey. And that's a lot of damage coming out from Reckless, but the rest of Fnatic cannot find the target. Body Slam comes down, 1-for-1. Top for support. Teleport coming out now from Nemesis.
Nemesis, he has calling.
In the middle of the G2 members, Ardent Blaze, as well as the Relentless Pursuit get used. Dashing and dodging around, using that passive. Wonder will likely fall as well. And Fnatic turn around the engage to find 3 kills.
Such a good hook, but Caps is still looking for picks. He's caught out Reckless.
So much damage coming out. Goodbye! Caps turns it 3 for 2 after it all.
Wow, what a clutch fight there. And it started off with G2 trying to get that collapse. Endo was setting it all up beautifully, and they're able to find that initial pick, but Fnatic answer back. They go toe-to-toe with G2. This is what we wanted to see in Game 5. And it looks like they're doing just that. The gold is dead even, the kills are dead even. G2 ahead in towers. But everything else aside from that is dead even between the two teams.
Okay, well watch this one more time, because it starts out, the Herald went down, Bwipo knew Jankos was in the area, but he thought with the Lantern, surely he's safe. The arrow, though, forces the cleanse. That allows Jankos to pick up Bwipo, and then the chain CC will mean they can finish him off. But the turnaround comes with all this damage coming through. I mean, Reckless hits Perks there, Perks can't really step forward, and that's when Selfmade hits the charge going forward with the Predator.
Honestly, I think that G2 expected Fnatic to disengage after that, but they didn't. Fnatic were like, we still have 3 healthy members. That hook onto Hylissang from Hylissang was beautiful, because he's just acting as disruption. What could have been a huge ultimate, we don't have time because we've got another fight.
And this is exactly what you were saying, Ender. The fights will break out constantly.
Oh no, Caps is right there!
Teleport is now coming down. Caps is going to flash over the wall instantaneously. No crowd control to lock him down. 6 kills to 6. He gets the ethereal chains onto Reckless, and the ECA will connect, but there's no further follow-up. Showstopper will bring Bwipo further backwards, but there's no damage to connect onto him. Bwipo continues to run for his life. Wonder and Mickey are dashing forward, but they can't find any CC or damage to stick. It is an Ocean Dragon, and G2 appealing.
Arnold has just come back up, and Fnatic have every single ultimate except for the Gangplank one. I think Fnatic want to re-engage us. I think they want to fight G2.
Let's see right now, Caps takes a lot of damage. Here comes the Arnold.
All of the Forge Guard will find
That's
it.
huge!
That's massive! But Wonder has no damage to follow up. The rest of G2 are sticking onto the Ocean Dragon. The culling is melting through Wonder's HP bar. He's down, he's low, he's dead. A parlay to the face kills him. The Dragon is still inside the pit.
Selfmade!
They get it! They get themselves the Dragon, and now they turn the attention onto the rest of GT. Hylissang, can he find the flame? Yes, he does. Looking for the Death Sentence as well. Now he's in trouble though, as Hilly will get a heal! Reckless brings him back! The Dawning Shadow gives him a shield and a heal, and the rest of Fnatic continue the chase. Powder Kegs won't find themselves the targets, but Fnatic fight back!
What an intense team fight. So many things either missed, were dodged, were clutched up. This was crazy. This is where the Dragon starts off. Caps gets chunked out initially. The Arnold comes through, but look at him from Wonder. He doesn't connect the knock-up.
He misses the E!
The follow-up doesn't come through. G2 then can't commit to the fight, so Fnatic then just commit onto Wonder, and then this is where things get real tense.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic, G2 had been so split this entire time, so Selfmade comes into the pit. He flashes with his body slam, I think, too, for the extra damage to combo it down onto the Dragon.
Oh, and that flash from Nemesis,
I mean,
too.
Caps coming into the backline, trying to finish off Nemesis, just barely dodged away.
And then
This is the Game 5 everybody wanted. These fights are so insanely close. We couldn't have asked for it better.
Absolutely fantastic. 36% of you fans at home said Fnatic would win this game. Spam in chat, FNC or G2, who will win Game 5? We're 23 minutes in. Gold is even. Keep in mind, Fnatic have still only secured 1 tower. That is crucially important. If G2 can take advantage of the map control that they have, they can look to set up more picks. And when you look all the way down the kill scores, 1-0-6. Hylissang's Thresh this time around has been exquisite.
And I mean, even right there, it's not flashy, but trailing behind Nemesis as he wants to fully push in the wave. There's no turrets up in the top lane. So the collapse, as we said, G2's comp wants to execute on. If there's a Lantern right there, he pulls Lucian out to safety, and they're going to be fine. And that is what Fnatic need to be on point against. There's so much long-range engage options, you cannot find yourself caught out of position without a friend there to help you out.
So, it's funny, because whenever you end up in a Game 5 with G2 versus Fnatic, what you often find is G2 will usually have the stronger mid-jungle, but then Fnatic often have the better scaling in the late game. And when we look at this comp from Fnatic, I think one of the biggest things is going to be this Gangplank ultimate, because note how it can easily separate and split up G2 and make it so much harder for them to actually play the 5 versus 5. So I think the longer this game goes on, the easier it actually gets for Fnatic, and the fact that they've kept things so close is only good for them.
And look at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, 54% of you at home now believe Fnatic can win this game. I mean, it's dead even. It's 25 minutes in. Dragon is going to be up in 2 minutes. Baron is available, and the risks are so high. Fnatic have not been able to beat G2 Esports since 2018 in spring. It would be mind-boggling for them to do it today, but they do need to knock over that final Nexus. And if you look at the minimap, if you look at the Rift, it is G2 that currently have control.
For G2, the fights, the game, it will come down to Caps right now. He's looking for Hylissang, but he gets hooked!
Death Sentence comes in. Caps is going to be able to distort all the way back. He manages to find Yengar. Self-made finds him! Manages to land the cast. That's the 8th kill. He also did commit the Cannon Barrage. So 90 seconds until Dragon. There are Fnatic members moving towards Baron, but this might be risky.
Yeah, I'm evaluating if it's worth it right now. I don't
just
think
gonna clear the wards.
I think you just get as many out of towers as you can right now. Like, Perks did a good job of pushing in mid, but Nemesis is going to secure that top tower. Fnatic is like, that's such a good pick for Fnatic. The fact that that kill went down, that's going to alleviate so much pressure. They get so much vision control around the Baron buff. They're going to be able to push in mid. Fnatic are going to feel like a lot more relaxed now that Caps is dead.
Yeah, I mean, Hylissang finding that pick there with the hook again. He's been in every single kill that Fnatic have found in this game, and for a split, a series even, that's been so topsy-turvy for him, it is Hylissang in the clutch to show up and shut down Caps.
Oh, I can't wait to see the discussion on the learnings from this game. 1,500 gold up off Fnatic right now, 2 towers to 4. And it does feel like the last few kills they've been able to pick up have been punishments. Like they've caught G2. They had the Death Bush in the red buff of G2. They responded to the tower dive top. But now Fnatic may be walking into a trap of their own. Hylissang gets caught out. The heal keeps him alive a few seconds longer, but he's down. Core of the Forge God flies across multiple members of Fnatic, and the teleport comes out from Bwipo. 9 seconds to Dragon as a numbers advantage to G2.
And so this is the biggest difference. Fnatic get a pick, but they can't convert it into much. G2 get a pick, and they can secure a Drake. But Fnatic right now, they're threatening the Baron, and they're saying, if you start that Drake, I'm going to take that Baron.
Yeah, Fnatic won't be able to commit to it, though. They do not have Thresh on the board, so they just wanted to cause the chaos a little bit, waste some of G2's time, as they still haven't fully committed. Just Perks finishing off the Ocean. But this is where Game 5 has been different to every other game for Fnatic, because they already have 2 Drakes, so losing this one does not put them in a position where they're fighting against an Ocean Soul or Soul Point for G2. After a death like that, they can back up, lick their wounds, and live to fight another day.
I could just imagine fans right now sitting at home, wrapped around their pillow, like clutching it and biting into it because of how tense this game is.
This game is a clincher, Andrew Vedius. There's no doubt about it. And Fnatic are just marginally in the lead. The Dragon was picked up by G2, so the 4.5 minute timer is on the table. The later we go, the easier it'll be to take that Baron as well, and it's starting to get risky.
But I think it's really worth highlighting the itemization right now, because when we look at the items for Reckless, he is fully, well, he's got 3 online. He's upgraded the Muramana. Same for Nemesis. He's at 2.5, working towards his 3rd. And you can also see, not Infinity Edge, the Essence Reaver plus the Trinity Force on the GP. All the gold, or the vast majority, is actually on Wonder. Yes, he's at 3 items, but Caps is only at 2. We don't see the death cap from him yet. We don't actually see any upgraded on items yet coming out from the side of G2, which means that right now I just think that Fnatic is that much stronger.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, Wonder could give the upgrade to Caps' loot.
Oh, they're actually sitting on a lot of money right now.
That's true. I believe, yeah, I think they want to wait for Rabadons for the Infinity Edge too, because those items can be upgraded by Wonder.
Oh, let's see what happens as Fnatic are now pushing into the Bramble back. Still 3 minutes till Dragon. Jankos is going to step forward. Ends up winning that fight. Commits the smite to it as well. And you can just see as well, in comparison to all 4 previous games, the willingness with which to go and make those plays, to initiate fights, is not happening. We talked so much about items. Perkz just picked up the Infinity Edge. That is why...
Oh, look at the arrow!
The Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It will connect, but there was a dash as well. Gets pulled backwards. Call of the Forge God comes out. Nemesis will flash away from that one. Got a lot of damage onto Jankos. Multiple ultimates committed. And they do end up getting his flash.
But they get the flash, and that's ultimately all that matters, because now there's no objective. They don't need that ultimate for anything, and on top of that, Perkz will get his upgraded Infinity Edge as well. So I think the play was worth it. Nemesis now has to be very careful, as Caps is going to be looking for him in the next.
Exactly, like Caps finding him in a side lane, and G2, the way you can watch it and look for where they want to make plays, they're going to be playing around Perkz, it feels like, or Caps, and a lot of it is going to come off of Perkz' arrow. When he has arrow, when they push out a lane, walk into the enemy jungle, look for targets, look for deep vision, because wards like that will set up picks for kills, for flashes, and future objectives.
I keep looking at the minimap, I keep looking at the vision, and it's been G2 dominated for several minutes, but they haven't been able to catch a Fnatic member out of position, and it does feel like both teams have kind of handshook and gone, if it's not a Dragon or a Baron, maybe we don't want to fight over it anymore. We haven't seen those dives, we haven't seen G2 even really crossing the halfway mark on the Rift. In Fnatic, similar situation.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is that the Soul is not really the big threat, it's the Baron. That's going to be the biggest objective that's going to swing the game in either direction, and whoever gets that can come very close to winning the game depending on how the team fight plays out. G2 now grouping up, you can see Gangplank in the bot lane, no teleport but does have the ultimate. Wonder just ticks 16, which means that he has the upgraded Ornn ulti. Both teams looking for a fight, but I think G2 need to wait for that death cap to be completed before they go for a fight, and this might be the window where Fnatic could actually force him.
Right now, Bwipo comes back to base, gets back onto the map because he doesn't have that teleport, of course, and it will be a trade of pressure constantly. Now that Baron is the only objective on the map, one top laner, or mid laner, I guess, is going to have to go back down to the bottom lane, push out that wave fully, and that means the other team, Fnatic in this instance, can group up and get a little bit of vision back, but I think G2's attempt to get vision into the river is going to stick for them.
That's the death cap, now finished for Caps. Like, this is it, gentlemen. Like, both teams are ready, right? They've entered the arena, the items are good, the levels are through. Like, both teams are poised and ready to fight, and it's all going to come down to the team fight that will decide who moves on to the finals and who ends up moving into the lower bracket.
But first, Caps is sprinting over to Wonder. He's like, come on, give me the item. Like, the death cap is good, the death crown is even better.
And there it is.
Got it.
It is. Molten Edge upgraded for Perkz, Death Crown for Caps in the middle lane. 30 seconds until the Ocean Dragon is up. It is the third one. It may not be worth throwing the entire game over, so if a team has an advantageous position, it may not be contested, but Baron is still open and available. We need to see whether or not either of these teams will contest. Fnatic are currently pushing through the mid lane, trying to put pressure on that tower.
They still can't take it down, though. The Drake is spawning in 7 seconds. This could be a quick shot. Arrow! Oh, it goes wide. That's a big deal.
Bwipo sidesteps. 1 second. Okay, Ocean Dragon has just been spawned. And Vedius and I cannot get closer to the monitors because this game is so incredibly tense. Both teams playing with an immense amount of respect. A single mistake costs the series. A single mistake costs a guaranteed first or second seed at the World Championship. More importantly, a shot at the LEC title, the 8th one for either team. Caps gets chunked out by Bwipo. The Bwipo's going in! Bwipo flashes over the wall! He's not going to be able to find Caps, though the Dragon has been peeled away. Wonder and Mickey are inside Fnatic's jungle. Caps is able to escape. Now Wonder takes damage. Perkz and Jankos will be able to pick up the Ocean Dragon.
Look at Selfmade, look at Selfmade!
Waiting, the barrel will catch out of Jankos, the rest of G2. Now they're starting to come together! Selfmade finds the kill! He goes golden for a few seconds, and the death sentence will not find his target. Call of the Forge God will knock up Nemesis into the air, and Caps goes down. 3 3 G2 members are down, but they did get the Dragon. How much more?
They're gonna get them all!
It's going to be the kills. It's going to be the ace. It's only going to cost 1, and the Dragon and Fnatic are gonna push.
Fnatic smashed G2 in the team fight. They say, forget the Dragon. We're just gonna go straight for the base now. It is a long time before G2 come up. Fnatic are gonna break this wide open.
Fnatic are looking to end the game. Those death timers are huge. The teleport is going to come through from Whippo. 8 seconds on Jankos. I don't know if this is the correct play from Fnatic, but they're going to go for a quick shot.
That's a lot of death timers, though. Jankos will just come up. This should be the inhibitor.
I think they can do it.
Do Fnatic keep pushing?
They can do it.
Okay. Do not pull a G2. Showstopper into the minions. That's a great.
He got the minions. He got the minions. Oh my God! Jankos, you beautiful man!
Saves the game for G2.
Oh, what a clear from Jankos. He uses the ultimate, he uses the W, the minions are gone, Fnatic can't siege, but the jungler is dead. Oh, if Caps can interrupt the backs.
It doesn't look like he can.
Oh, he can get it!
Helisang will land a Death Center's body slam. Barrel
Oh,
is gone! He's gone! Self-made sends his regards and sends Caps back to the fountain. 15 kills, 5,000 gold. And it's Fnatic in the lead. It's Fnatic in control.
Trevor, I can honestly not believe this. And Jankos is still dead. Fnatic, they're walking to the Baron. They're going for it. This is going to put them right into the advantage.
There's no one from G2 around. There's no one to stop this. Fnatic have secured the Baron with 0 contest from G2 Esports, and they are in the driving seat to pick up the series.
Oh my word. Let's have a look back at this team fight. Keep your eye on Caps versus Whippo here. Look at how Whippo just eliminates Caps from the fight. He stops him from doing anything, which means that the rest of Fnatic is very safe to play. They all commit. They're saying, let's kill Caps, let's kill Caps. And of course, they commit, and the fight becomes a little bit split up. But G2 are immediately on the run for the rest of this fight.
And on the bottom of the fight, Selfmade, you just saw the cast. He corralled G2 down there. He made sure they could not escape here. And at the end of it, it is Whippo that finishes the duel against Cap, snipes him out there, and Fnatic run away with the rest of the fight.
Oh my word, Fnatic played that fight so well, and they had their eyes on ending the game, and if it wasn't for Jankos, they could very well have done it. Clutch stuff coming up from Fnatic. They now sit with the Baron. They have a 7k gold lead, and they are so close to finally beating their rivals in a best of 5.
For the first time in a year, Fnatic are looking strong against G2. We got 2 5-game series last year, and Fnatic right now looking to end this one in Game 5 as they siege in the middle lane.
The difference in 2020 for Fnatic was Selfmade. He sits 8-1 and 5. Fnatic have the Baron pushing into the base now, and Caps is on the flank.
And in the final game, Nemesis gets his hands on the Lucian and
Wait,
sends
they're
a
going in?
big message to fans. Whippo's in trouble, got caught out. He's taking
Oh!
Caps. G2 turn around. Caps blows up Selfmade. Whippo's already down, but Nemesis is looking for the culling. He can't find the kill into Mickey, and he's forced to run away. Jankos goes low, and Hilly's Death Sentence does not find a target. Reckless needs to back away and will not be able to find more. Okay, Fnatic lose 2. What?
My mouth is wide open. My jaws on the floor. I can't believe it. I thought that was it. I thought the Fnatic were gonna just end the game right then and there, but like, you can't give all the credit to Caps, but the fact that he just one-shot Selfmade from the flank, the fact that he was able to find that opportunity was beautiful, but the entire G2 team just committed to that play. Front to back, they just ran Fnatic down.
We have 2 teams that won a team fight, and G2 got it right there. It starts off here. I think the Ornn ultimate comes soon is going to be huge after they isolate Whippo at the start. But he actually doesn't even get the Ornn ultimate up, but it doesn't matter because Caps explodes Selfmade there. No Zonias to come.
If you're a G2 fan, you want to see that happening more and more. Caps needs to blow up members of Fnatic again and again. They are still down. There are super minions pushing in the bottom lane, and the Ocean Soul is up for grabs for G2.
It's in 20 seconds, and Selfmade's flash is going to be up right in time for the fight. He used it in the last one. It will return. He's level 16, and his mission is to find Perks and Caps in the back line.
This game is too intense, man. It's so intense. All right, Dragon, G2 might just give this one up. Wait, what if Caps actually tries to steal it over the wall? Remember the QR combo?
That's a lot of damage. I mean, Jankos too, he has Hex Flash, and there's not a Baron for 3 minutes. This could just be a 50-50 steal and get the hell out.
Caps out. He's going to go for the try. Death Sentence almost catches him, but the Dragon is secured by Fnatic. level heads. They pulled the dragon out of the pit. They played that one as safely as they could. The super minions, this should be the last couple of waves pushing into the base. As you can see, the respawn time at 30 seconds away. And I think the next dragon or the next Baron could be the final play to win this game.
It's sold one way or another.
Okay, so a couple things. Number one, I do think G2's comp gets a little harder to execute later on into the game because while they do have what is kind of considered a traditional front-to-back, their only backline really is Perks because Caps is going to want to look for flanks and ideally not hard commit to a fight, but just look for picks. The problem is if G2 don't have that vision, it's very easy for him to turn that around. Now for Fnatic's side, their scaling is incredibly strong. You can see Reckless's range is so excessive, and my observers are going to tell me in just a second how many stacks the center does have, but Nemesis with the double AD carry threat, with the Gangplank ultimate, they have a lot of damage, but they're very squishy. He has 117 sacks on the center right now, so like, you are full late game center, your range is insane, and like, the thing about Fnatic is, again, they have a lot of damage, a lot of range, but they're very squishy. If Caps finds anyone, he could almost one-shot pretty much any member.
He has so many targets.
And keep in mind, Reckless has been the consistent rock all year long. Consistently high-performing. When the pressure was on, when the back were against the wall, Hylissang and Nemesis, the players that have been discussed and debated and argued about and criticized for so much of this summer season, have stepped up. 2, 2, and 5 for Nemesis. 1, 1, and 12 for Hylissang. His death sentences and his lanterns have been game-changing. The reason we've got so much time to talk about this, both teams are committed to the Barons and the Dragon fights as G2 now start to back away. Predator there, used by Selfmade, and not going to look for any initiation. Instead, Fnatic barreling down the mid lane.
The map is in a position where G2 cannot risk a fight because there's no neutral objective open. If G2 lose a fight in this position, the game ends with the priority in the lanes. Fnatic have gathered
With the Slash Arrow.
Yeah.
solution.
It was witnessed, it was seen, easily dodged away with
That's
the
a hook.
relentless pursuit, and the death sentence won't be followed up on. The tension's too big, there's nothing to fight for. I think the right call from
the vote
Fnatic.
swinging back in favor of G2.
Oh, I love it. Just leave that up there for the rest of the game. That's exactly what you want to see. I mean, it is just teeter-totter this entire game.
The belief in G2 and the expectation that Fnatic will throw. I'm not sure if the fans are watching the same game, but Fnatic are not making those mistakes.
I mean, you know that the world is watching right now. Everyone wants to see G2 and Fnatic. These are going to be two of the most discussed names going into the World Championship, especially after G2's year last year, the fact that Fnatic caused so many upsets. And right now, a very intense Game 5. This game could literally go either way. Both teams fighting for that spot in the finals. And here we go.
Oh, Hylissang! Where's the death sentence? Where's the death sentence? Wonder is going to be able to escape Fnatic.
Ash!
Comes down the flame, comes out as well. Dawning Shadow is good, but so is the Call of the Forge Guard. G2 running for their life. Showstopper brings Selfmade backwards, but
Look at
Fnatic
Caps!
are able to jump around, surround him. That's
Look at Caps!
Self-
Look at Caps!
Does it! G2 Esports may have turned this one around. Reckless, the rest of Fnatic start to back away. 2 more kills to G2. The arrow tags onto Hylissang. Nemesis will get some damage down. That's the pull backwards, but it's blown up. Jankos goes down. He will get taken out from the damage from Perks though, and now G2 turn around. The fans predicted it, and G2 are pushing.
I think G2 won it all right here, Trevor. There's 2 members alive, Nemesis and Reckless on the other side, but Caps finding 3 members in the backline with his LeBlanc. It's massive.
40-second death timer for Hylissang, 30 for Puepo and Selfmade. The teleport is coming in from Wonder inside the base. It's up to Reckless and Nemesis, the double ADs, to defend. Mickey's going to jump forward. The Unbreakable will time out very, very shortly. The first Nexus turret is down. G2 Esports are pushing it. Nemesis is forced to zone away. The culling! It takes on Wonder. Reckless is getting the damage down though. The scaling, the late game.
Wait,
is double
Selfmade, 5
ADs.
seconds! Selfmade, 5 seconds!
They've done it. Selfmade's going to come back alive. G2 get the Nexus turrets, but they don't get the game. They don't get the series. G2 do not advance to finals.
How in the world did that game not end? Nemesis with the ultimate comes up so clutch. The Drake now spawns in 35 seconds. Wonder does not have TP. He will be dead when the Drake is alive. Fnatic are very likely going to get the soul. And I'm like, what is Caps doing right now? Is he looking for a pick? Is he looking to clear out the wave?
Is he looking for the
There's
Nexus?
the ward though.
Is
It's
he
going to spot him
looking for
out.
the back door?
He was going to find Nemesis
the
as
back
well.
door.
Nemesis was going
There's
to
no
go
ways.
there.
There's no ways. 43 minutes in, 13 kills to 17. 74k to 76k. You know what? The numbers don't freaking matter. The next team fight can dictate.
Caps? I thought the last
winner
Oh, no way.
of this
But there's
game.
still wards here. No.
Caps almost get taken out. Apologies to headphone listeners, did not intend to scream that loud.
But we're still on the dragon. The Ocean Soul is... Oh, Nemesis! He just solo killed Caps!
Nemesis kills Caps, the soul goes to Fnatic. They kill Jankos as well. It's 5 versus 3. They can push into the base. Fnatic have everything they need to win the series.
I think that's it. I thought it was done and dusted. I thought G2 had won it all, but Fnatic have held the line. They get the kill onto Caps. They secure the Ocean Soul. 5 members strong. Fnatic are looking to end it.
With the world watching, with the criticism never being higher, with Nemesis and Hylissang.
Perks is going for the Nexus! Perks is going for the Nexus!
By fans, they turn this around. Now Perks is pushing into the base. You are kidding me! This is a 5 versus 1 base race. There's one cannon minion to work with. It gets interrupted. Mickey and Wonder are doing what they can. Nemesis is there to defend! Nemesis kills Perks! And Fnatic turn their attention to the Nexus turret. They get one. Stop focusing down the second. The backdoor bonus is just about to end. Fnatic, for the first time since 2018, for the first time in 875 days, Fnatic take down G2. Fnatic are your summer finalists.
What an insane game 5. Look at the elation on Fnatic's face. Such a hard-fought game. I thought that final team fight was it. I thought G2 had won it, but they held on to their Nexus. They were able to come back. Nemesis getting the kill onto Caps. And that will do it. That will move G2 into the lower bracket. Fnatic have locked a spot in finals.
Fnatic versus G2 never fails to deliver. Last summer in the same match, it went to 5. In the finals they met again, it went to 5 as well. These two teams playing just on a knife's edge in the final game.
You broke the table!
I broke the table, okay?
For the
What an
first
insane
time
game.
since 2018, Fnatic take down G2. 875 days. A best-of-5 victory. We were talking about Selfmade was supposed to make the team better, and it finally happened. They finally did it. Key player of the series at LEC, Selfmade, Reckless, Hylissang. After Game 3 and Game 4, a series that arguably should have been 3-1 to G2, after G2 through Game 3, Fnatic have the mental fortitude to dig back and win Game 5 in that fashion.
It's just incredible. And to think, if that game hadn't been thrown, we would have never gotten this Game 5 as well. Like, this is one of the greats.
And it was such a great game 5 too. Like the team fights were so intense. It came down literally to the final dragon, the very end. Like
we had a base race at the end.
That was
like,
so-
giving us
so
all.
good.
Unbelievable.
So
And
good.
also the beauty in Nemesis taking out both Caps and Perks. Solo kills as the last 2 kills for Fnatic there. Beautiful. Look, we're going to hear from Reckless before Bwippo joins us in the post-game lobby. Don't go anywhere. TSM and C9, you got a hell of a series to follow up.
I broke the table.
What? Yes, what a series.